Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Thursday session. Welcome, everyone, to this session. Of course, our YouTube viewers as well. Welcome to this couple of minutes at the beginning with us. Stanley, it's always nice to see you. It's Thursday. I'm looking forward to our session. How are you? How are things going on your end? What's going on with your trades? So, how is everything?
Hello, Sylvie. Very good to see you. Everything is great. We'll be having a little bit longer weekend tomorrow. I'm actually traveling today, so it's gonna be a good what it's called bachelor's party. We have.
Oh, okay.
It was a last moment announced last week. So we're still gonna make it. Everything is great. Trades running pretty good, I have to say. Have not been super active recently because some of the setups are just FOMO and also no chance for any reversal signal. But having a couple of good running position, mostly shorting the Japanese yen if we come to forex. But maybe before we get to the charts, how about you? How is everything?
Yeah, everything is good. Everything is pretty good. Planning trip for the upcoming week to the East Coast, then to Europe. So it's gonna be a little busy in the next couple of weeks. But other than that, trading is pretty good. I mean, positions are looking very good. I'm trying to think of if I'm gonna close here my shorts. I'm holding shorts, so we can discuss that too. Yeah, all is good.
Very nice. Also, inviting everybody who is watching the session to become part of it. Have your questions, trade setups, ideas, instruments, just anything you like, address it in the chat, no matter if you're watching us, as Sylvia said earlier, from the live, XM Live, or any of the other social media as well. How about yesterday FOMC? Have you follow up on this?
Um, you know, there is a lot of talking. For me, the the really big part here is the price action and actually the chart. It's been pretty bearish. Now we're here around support zone. If you look all of these indices, they look pretty much the same. Very nice drop. I've been holding for very long patiently. Finally, it is paying off. So that's what I'm looking at. Honestly, I don't think because someone said something we're going to see here a further drop or not. If we do, it's based on the price action. Everyone was super extended and the situation was all the time here also not good. So we actually had even the bank issue and everything went still straight up. So I think we're going to see maybe a little further pullback here, but for me it's like we are approaching support. Here we're right at the previous low, and we had a pretty decent drop here. I wanted to measure the percentage. So for me, it's the question. That's like 5% almost. On the Nasdaq, it's a little more. For me, it's the question: do I want to hold if it bounces? The Nasdaq is almost 7%. Do I want to hold if it bounces and drops further, which is going to be a trading of the trend? Or do I just want to cover here and come back later and make another decision when everything starts to go, a little further here and I have more information on the chart? And as of for now, I personally think I am going to close this position. It dropped pretty decent. I had a good entry, so I don't really want to hold too long because I don't know if this is going to bounce and then drop and I have to give up some of my unrealized profit. So that's my thought here on this. With the FOMC, no, I'm not really like following too much what they're saying or not saying because I'm looking more on the charts. How about you? What do you think?
Actually, significantly hawkish statement yesterday, as I understood, and they're likely to hike rates again, which the market reacted towards that. We saw a sell-off, and so I also believe that. I've been talking about this for quite some time. They're don't cutting rates unless they break something, and
Yeah.
it's just gonna be like every time before in history. And also they have a habit of the last time there have been inflation that it usually comes with a double top inflation. So
Yeah.
Inflation is slightly going down, not so significantly much, but still, I think that they're gonna hike rates unless they break something. Maybe we ask also the viewers, guys, what do you think? If you have watched the statement yesterday, actually it's not watching it, read the statement yesterday, and what's your opinion on that? What's your take on this? And how to translate that into a trade idea? Of course, that's the most important thing. As well, I could comprehend with what you're saying, and I could agree that if the price doesn't give me a confirmation, I would not do what the statement is telling me to do. Usually,
Yeah.
I use those statements for me to increase or decrease the risk. Let's say I have a beautiful signal, but it's against the sentiment and the statement or the fundamentals. Let's put it into one basket altogether. In this case, I'll probably go with lower risk, and vice versa. If the fundamentals align with my technical entry, I would rather be a little bit more loose and a little bit looking forward to risk more when it comes to a particular setup. So you're closing this S&P right now, or you're gonna wait for maybe initial jobless claims we get? And Philadelphia, but we have a Philly Fed as well, which is
Yeah.
at the same time this week.
I'm trying to wait a little bit. I'm thinking here, thinking live. Not really sure. It's really good, price here to close. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes. I mean, look, it went from overbought here almost into the 30. Yeah, and here is the question, every trader needs to ask themselves just to explain the thought process maybe.
Right.
It's like even if they're lower, it's gonna probably drop another 5%. Soon. That's my thought. I have this on different accounts. I have also the Nvidia short that's a little different, but yeah. And speaking of the hawkishness, hawkish, yeah, they've been all the time hawkish, but look, the whole entire year the market went straight up. Like that didn't bother too much the market. I think everything is just price action, goes into from one cycle to the next, and that's what it is doing here. So I'm thinking to close it probably today. Yeah. Do you have the same short? I think you had also a short, isn't it?
I had one, but it spiked me out literally to the point, and I'm not
Hmm.
in it anymore. Actually, it's been very hard to trade it to the downside, I think, because it have been. If you maybe open a 4-hour chart, it has been
Mm-hmm.
so correctively going down, so without a nice
Yeah.
impulse, corrective move impulse, but it's been just going in form of, we could even call it a channel right there. It's been hard for me to trade that. Yes, I made some money on that, but it was like 60, 70 points, and right now from my entry is 160, so I have missed big part of the move, as long as with the DAX, because I was really not sure. And also, as I said, it's been just very deep corrections, very big spikes as well. It's been not a easy instrument to trade recently, and absolutely admirations for you being able to hold that position to the level that we're at the moment. So congrats.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll see. You're right. It's been one of the most difficult trades for me too. Like it required all of my patience because look, my entry was here, and like I said, I have it on um multiple, you know, accounts. So my entry was here, and it was the same entry everywhere. And I'm just like it dropped, and all the time it did was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days, 7 trading days sideways, then drops again, then goes sideways again, drops a little, goes sideways, and it's exactly what you're saying. It's just a corrective move to the downside. It is a correction of this uptrend so far. It's not been very easy because every time it drops, it goes sideways for a little bit, which is actually very bullish price action. And even a couple of days ago here, I was thinking to close. I just decided to give it like one more day, and that's why now it works. It looks better, but it is very difficult. It's been one of the most difficult trade that requires my entire patience. You really, in situations like this, have to remove yourself from the market if you want to hold a little bit longer, of course, on the daily chart and follow your rules. Because my rule is, if it goes, I'm following here the daily chart and the candlesticks on the daily chart. So when I enter here and it drops like this, I'm moving the stop loss here, mental stop. So I'm not really putting it. Every time it has a inside bar, which is all candles that are trading in this range, that means I'm doing nothing. First time it actually closed outside of this whole range here was all the way here. So now I could have moved my stop loss here above. Let me take my pen. And then again, you see all of it is just sideways price action. So it just, if you're following the rules, that was the correct thing to do. But the thing is, it does require a lot of, patience. Now the stop loss theoretically should be moved here. But for me, it reaches a point where it's at support. This is also my take profit. So I'm gonna just take it. Yeah.
Did you set this take profit now, or it's been the level that you have been aiming before?
Yeah, that's the level I've been looking for. Yes, this one here, this is my take profit.
But you didn't set it today. You have it from before.
Yeah, I had it from before, from the moment I opened it. Yes.
And the thing is that because it missed it with this little much, now you have very negative risk to reward in a case that the price reverses and get back to your stop loss level. So it is very bad risk to reward. Of course, if you have missed your stop loss with this little much, and then the trade reverses and you're losing all the gains that you generated so far.
Exactly.
I'd probably be in the same process, very close to a take profit. Okay, start pulling back. Let me take what's mine.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking here too. So just to explain to our viewers the thought, maybe it's a little, like deep explanation, but I think that's important to understand the whole thought process of it's not just like support and resistance, but also a little bit thinking of, like you just mentioned too, risk reward and so forth. By the way, Andy is here. Welcome, Andy, to this session. Hello to the Queen of Vegas and XM. Think of indicators. Well, thank you, Andy. Welcome to our session. Nice to see you.
Hello, Andy. Welcome on board. Haven't seen you in a few days, at least in my sessions. Very good to see you. What are you up to? If you have any trade setups ideas, just bring them on. And also, he's saying congratulations. Yes.
Thank you. And you know what helps me personally? I can give you, and I can be 100% honest with you. What helps me is to remove myself physically from the charts. Actually, like if you get busy with other things, you start letting the trades go.
Yes.
If you're fixating too much and looking, especially if you're trading the daily chart like I do, there's no reason I should be looking every single hour at the chart. Just let it go, and that's it.
Yeah.
And he's saying, today I felt again there is a risk limit for everyone. I became emotional as the risk was too high for. But on the other side, I have a great running system, and now it's up to me to scale profits. Yeah, it's always like that, and whatever works for you, just keep doing it because, everyone is different. And scaling is one of the most challenging parts as trader as well. You have to maximize what works, and that requires a lot of psychology, a lot of mental aspects.
I always say, I agree, and I always say that if trading is 100%, then 60% of that is psychology.
Yeah.
So it is very emotional type of thing. You cannot eliminate 100% of emotions. What you could do is make it automated. and then you have zero emotions. Of course, you have
Yeah.
emotions when you see whether you have a profit, loss, drawdown, or whatever. But in terms of the process, whether you to hold the trade,